Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Thursday. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a DeWittville woman is facing charges following an investigation into possible child neglect. Details coming up.
Plus, a woman was arrested following an investigation into underage drinking and drugs. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is here with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Thursday, everybody. We're so close to that weekend, and we'll give you a live look from the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca, and it's mainly going to be a lot more sunnier than it was today. We have the clouds starting to break apart out there today. First Defense Doppler radar, we can look at this all day long, and it will show the exact same thing. Nothing. So we won't have any rain today, which is the good news. All this you see popping up here is just ground clutter. It is what we call radar garbage, so there's nothing to worry about with that. But it was a little bit windy yesterday. Here are the peak wind gusts from across the region. 28 officially at the airport in Dunkirk, and 26 was the peak wind gust at the Jamestown airport, which is north of the city. So it was a little bit breezy yesterday, which did make it feel a little bit cooler than it actually was. And we've been mentioning this. We're continuing to lose daylight time. So again, the sunset this month comes up at 6:59. That's not so bad. At the end of October, 6:11, end of November at 4:46, and you're getting increasingly more frustrated. But look at as we go into the end of, pretty much at the end of the year, going into next year, we start gaining daylight again, so you get a little bit more happier at that. So here's the forecast details for the afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny through the day. A cool day, but otherwise quiet. 64 hills, 73 across the lower elevations. Northeast wind less than 10 miles per hour. We've got more of this cool weather on the way. We'll talk about it later in the show.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. Our top story. A DeWittville woman was charged Tuesday following an investigation into a possible neglect case involving a minor child. State police say their investigation revealed that the child had dozens of unexcused absences at school and was living with a non-custodial third party for approximately 8 months. Johnson allegedly failed to provide child support during that time. She was charged with first-degree non-support of a child and endangering the welfare of a child, and Johnson was processed and transported to Chautauqua County Jail.
Well, the town of Ellicott police say a man allegedly threw an item at a victim during a domestic incident that happened yesterday at the Budget Inn in the village of Falconer. Police say 33-year-old Sean Washington Jr. was taken to the Ellicott Police Department for processing. This is file footage of the Budget Inn. Washington Jr. was reportedly taken to UPMC Chautauqua Hospital for a mental evaluation. The victim reportedly sustained pain, swelling, and bruising during the incident. Police didn't say if Washington Jr. would be facing any charges.
A Springville woman is facing a number of charges after the Erie County Sheriff's Office said they broke up an underage drinking and drug use party at her apartment in July. 33-year-old Kristen Martin, pictured here, allegedly allowed minors to consume alcohol and participate in marijuana smoking contests. Deputies say they also discovered cocaine and crack cocaine use was allegedly occurring at the location. Martin allegedly used narcotics in the presence of minors. She is charged with several counts of unlawfully dealing with a child, as well as several counts of knowingly permitting minors into an establishment where a controlled substance activity occurs, a count of endangering the welfare of a child, and a count of unlawful growing of cannabis.
Well, a Long Island county that includes the Hamptons is within its rights to visit the homes of sex offenders to verify addresses. That according to a ruling by a federal appeals court yesterday. The Second U.S. Court Circuit of Appeals ruled that Suffolk County did not violate the rights of a registered sex offender who was visited twice. The anonymous offender sued in 2015, alleging that the visits carried out by the private nonprofit organization's Parents for Megan's Law, under contract with Suffolk County, constituted reasonable seizure under the Fourth Amendment. The appellate ruling upheld a lower court judge who says that the visits were reasonable because their primary purpose was to verify a registered sex offender's address. Now, Erin Beth Harris, a senior staff attorney at the New York Civil Liberties Union, says the ruling, quote, does nothing to further safety, end quote. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts here I know certainly at the state level, Matt, they are cracking down right now on sex offenders because they generally, not all of them, but some of them will move to a different address, maybe don't update police until it's time to check in with them, saying, well, this is now when I moved, when in fact it was a few months ago. So certainly be interesting to kind of see where this now new precedent set by the court will affect much of the rest of the state.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that too. A lot of people, they'll get charged with failure to either failure to register or failure to notify. So yeah, I mean, and that's the whole reason, at least from my perspective, why they do that.
Right.
I mean, I can understand, I guess, why it would feel, I guess,
Harassing.
harassing.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
I mean,
I could see that.
But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of angles to that.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Where are we going, Justin?
Right, it's tough stuff there. Tough, yeah, absolutely. Happy Thursday to all of you. Thanks for tuning in and checking up on your local news here on WNY News Now. Got to say hello to Donna. Hopefully you're doing well. Mark, good afternoon to you. Yeah, it's Friday Eve. Gotta love that short week. Yesterday I thought was Tuesday, and it's just quite a spiral. So it's always good to wake up and go, oh, today's Thursday. Hello to Rod. Hopefully you're doing well. He loves the snow in that one B-roll clip. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of it. David, hello to you. Joseph, Butch has joined us. Pam, Andrew, and Connie are all here as well. Thank you all so much for being here. A lot more to tell you about this half hour. Bishop Richard Malone held a press conference discussing a recent scandal in this section of Western New York. Details on that in just a few.
But first, a candidate for Jamestown mayor will be hosting an event celebrating diversity here in the city. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look at the HD News Now cam. More sun than clouds out there today. Currently, we're perched at 64 at noon hour with a northwest wind of 10. And look at that dew point of 52. So the dew point is low, which means it'll be dry. More cool weather is on the way. We'll talk about it as WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Happening now, a conversation and food tasting aimed to recognize and celebrate the diversity of Jamestown will take place this weekend. Jamestown City Councilman at Large and City of Jamestown Libertarian mayoral candidate Andrew Liuzzo says that the, quote, Sample the Diversity of Our City event will take place Sunday at the Sheldon House from 6 to 8 p.m. Liuzzo says by bringing people together, they can explore their commonalities while leaving differences aside.
The purpose of my campaign is to be better neighbors to each other. And my thinking is I want to celebrate the diversity of our city that makes us a beautiful, unique city. And by bringing people together from different backgrounds that live here, maybe we can explore the commonalities and forget about the differences. And I think the best way to do that is casual, informal, have some food. Look at the food. The food from one country might remind you of a food from your country, or your roots. Oh, that looks the same.
Now, the councilman says since launching his campaign, he has voiced the importance of working together, something that he emphasizes the city needs. Liuzzo is running on the Libertarian ticket against Democrat Eddie Sundquist and Republican Dave Wilfong in this fall's mayoral election.
Well, Bishop Richard Malone held a press conference yesterday afternoon regarding a recent scandal involving his former secretary, a Samaritan, and a priest that's currently on administrative leave. The bishop called the scandal a convoluted matter during the press conference, which was held in front of a select group of reporters who were issued invitation from the diocese. Now, the people involved are Malone's secretary and Vice Chancellor Reverend Rysegard Bernhardt, former Samaritan Matthew Bowanowski, and Jeffrey Nowak. Jeffrey Nowak was placed on administrative leave amid an investigation into accusations that he harassed a former Samaritan. Now, Bowanowski claims that he was sexually harassed by Reverend Nowak after the relationship deteriorated because of a supposed relationship that was destroyed between Bowanowski and Bernhardt. Now, Bishop Malone said that he reportedly ordered Revanowski to undergo behavioral assessment, which he refused to do and subsequently was placed on administrative leave. The bishop says through all of this, he's still not planning on resigning.
I'm not a person who stays in something because I enjoy paying it and all of that. I'm here because I feel an obligation as the one who was sent here to lead this diocese to carry on. And once again, if I thought that the majority of Catholic people in particular were calling for my resignation, that would be a different story.
He also noted that he has had conversations with the Pope's ambassador about the diocese's handling of sexual abuse cases, but he hasn't spoken to the Pope directly. The diocese noted in a statement issued late Tuesday that they had and still have never received any allegation that Nowak ever engaged in sexual conduct with anyone.
Hurricane Dorian left a trail of destruction across the Bahamas and has been threatening the southeast coast of the U.S. for days. Now the storm is dangerously close to the Carolinas and southern Virginia, and forecasters fear any westward deviation of the storm's path could be devastating. Connor Powell is in Charleston, South Carolina, where the threat of severe flooding is a major concern.
Hurricane Dorian pounding South Carolina with heavy winds and strong rains, already knocking out power to more than 200,000 people across the region, and the worst is still yet to come. Hurricane Dorian is now turning off the coast of the Carolinas, bringing with it strong winds and heavy rain.
The winds are howling outside the window. The tides are rising. We expect heavy surge. We're looking for anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of rain.
And the threat of a dangerous storm surge.
7 to 8 feet, I understand. And we're not sure what it's going to do in high tide or not.
Although the area will not take a direct hit, officials warn of the potential for devastating flooding in Charleston, South Carolina, where streets are already turning into rivers.
You take the rain, you take the high tide and the storm surge, and it can be very deadly. They call this the low country of South Carolina for a reason, because we are right at sea level, and water rises rapidly.
The storm was upgraded to a major Category 3 hurricane Wednesday evening as it makes its way north. Mandatory evacuations went into effect on Monday for more than 1 million coastal area residents in the Carolinas and Virginia, some heeding the warnings.
When you say mandatory, there's got to be a reason why they're evacuating an entire city.
Others sheltering in place, ready to weather the worst of it.
We never leave. I don't know why. We stay.
The wind is really starting to pick up here. We're starting to see a lot more debris blow through the air, both on the ground as well. And the real concern in the next couple of hours is the rainfall mixed with the high tide and the storm surge. There are already reports of flooding in the historic area of Charleston and some of the other areas outside as well. In Charleston, South Carolina, Connor Powell, now back to you.
Connor, thank you.
Well, in other news, a woman was rescued by DEC forest rangers over the Labor Day holiday weekend after she suffered an allergic reaction to around 10 bee stings during a hike. The DEC Rangers tell us, with the help of several other agencies, they rescued a 46-year-old woman around 3 p.m. Monday while she was hiking at the Deer Lick Nature Preserve. The Rangers hiked in around a mile to locate her. She was assessed and treated by ambulance personnel, while one of the Rangers worked to coordinate her evacuation. Several Rangers had to physically cut down a path down the hill to get her out. 3 additional Rangers and members of the Gowanda Fire Department and Cattaraugus County Ambulance Company helped carry her out. The Rangers say she was evaluated and released by ambulance personnel. Matt, this story could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
Especially in such remote areas.
Yes.
It's good to have the DEC Forest Rangers who are trained to, explore the woods and to navigate in there to really get her out. And I think a lot of people maybe don't realize, unless you are allergic to bees or some sort of sting like that, how dangerous and really scary that is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know of a couple people that are allergic, and they've got to have their EpiPen right on them. So props to the DEC and props to the rest of the emergency personnel.
Yeah,
I mean, 1 mile, holy cow.
Right.
And to push through the...
Right. And to have to haul her out.
Yeah.
I know it's not a great picture. I mean, these men and women's job is not to take pictures of the scene, but we appreciate it. But I mean, to haul her out on that, that's not easy. Imagine just walking in the woods, but to have something like this, 10 times harder for sure. So that mile certainly probably seemed a lot longer. Hello to Connie. Hopefully you are doing well. Andrew, Sean, thanks so much for tuning in here. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by with a live look at our weather forecast.
And later, today is a day that most people can enjoy together. Details ahead as News Now continues.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's gonna have some bison in it, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Yeah, and Dorian is continuing to churn away in the Atlantic. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. But the high yesterday was 70. We bottomed out at 50 degrees this morning. That was, of course, the official low this morning. Look at the records for today, 86 and 90 and 33 in 1996. So, again, nowhere near these records. We're feeling like fall throughout the next several days. Today's the first official day of school, so we're bringing the school bus stop forecast back. Now, today, most schools have a half day, so I think most kids are coming home now, I believe. So if this is what you can expect right now, 62 to 68, partly to mostly sunny, a cool afternoon as you send them off to the bus stop tomorrow morning for the first official day, for the first full day of school. Tomorrow, 48 to 54 in the morning. Sweaters might not be a bad idea, but there'll be clouds and sun throughout the day. So here's the weather headlines. Everybody simmer down. We're going to cool down as we head over the next couple of days. Mainly usable on Friday. There's a chance for an isolated shower in the afternoon, but the day is going to be rather usable. And again, there's a chance for an isolated shower, especially over the weekend, and the tropics are getting busy. And let's talk about the tropicals, the tropics here. These are all the hurricane names this year. We've already gone through several of them here. Right now we have Dorian. We all know where that's headed. We have Ferdinand. And of course, we now have, Gabby is what I'm going to do. Gabrielle. There you go. Gabrielle. So we still have a lot more names to go. And of course, these names are cycled every year. And there's no doubt in my mind that Dorian is going to be retired at the end of this year after all the devastation it did in the Bahamas. Here's where Dorian is right now on the radar imagery. You can see the eye wall starting to appear back up. It actually shows up better on the satellite imagery. Here's the current information. It's down to a Cat 2 again at 110 mile per hour, 130 mile per hour wind gust. But you can see the circulation actually became a lot better organized again overnight. It did strengthen to a Cat 3. We'll zoom right into the eye wall to kind of give you a little perspective here. The eye wall actually got a little bit more better organized overnight. That's why it was up to a Cat 3. It actually started to strengthen once again. And again, the big thing from this is going to be storm surge. I mentioned this yesterday. Storm surge is when we have those big waves that crash ashore. The water level rises and it sweeps away things near the coastline. Now, this is mainly for the coastal areas, but storm surge flooding can impact inland areas as well. Back here today, nothing going on. We've got a high pressure ridge set up to our west. This is going to be scooting on through over the next several days. So you know what that's going to do. It's going to bring us rather dry weather. And you can see on the satellite imagery, we have a few of these high clouds popping up across the southern tier. So we'll call today partly to mostly sunny on average. Zone forecast for you. Eastern areas first here. This is where we're going to end the day, possibly around 71 around Jamestown, maybe 68 Olean. Clouds and sun through the day. Otherwise, not a bad afternoon though. Westward we go to the Lake Erie shoreline here. Temperature's a little bit cooler here, but all in all, clouds and sun through the day. That should say and, not amp, but clouds and sun through the day. Future, here it comes. And 70 degrees tomorrow, 69 on Saturday. And again, we will feel like fall is in the air, but summer warmth returns by mid next week. A few showers and storms on Wednesday. Sports is next. Don't go away.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of the work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. This afternoon at 4:30, the Maple Grove Red Dragons varsity boys soccer team will be on the road for a non-conference game versus the Dunkirk Marauders. In conference soccer action, the Falconer Golden Falcons varsity girls soccer team will be hosting a conference game against the Salamanca Warriors this afternoon, which will also be at 4:30. The Jamestown Red Raiders varsity girls soccer team will also be hosting a conference game this afternoon versus the Orchard Park Quakers at 5 o'clock. Using a bullpen rotation throughout the game, the New York Yankees defeated the Texas Rangers 4-1 on Wednesday, picking up their 92nd win of the season. The Yanks used 6 pitchers, with none pitching more than 3 innings each. Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres each hit a round tripper for New York as well. On Texas's end, Rougned Odor hit a solo moonshot for the Rangers' only run of the game. The Yanks will be back in action on Friday night at 7:10 as they will begin a 4-game road series versus the Boston Red Sox. The wait is finally over, football fans. Tonight with an 8:20 kickoff, the Chicago Bears will host the Green Bay Packers to begin the 2019 NFL season, which is also the first game of the 100th season of the NFL. Green Bay finished the 2018 NFL season with a 6-9-1 record, missing the playoffs for the second consecutive year. the first time since 2005 and 2006 in which the Packers missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons. Meanwhile, the Bears finished 12-4 in 2018, losing in the wild card round of the playoffs 16-15 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The first game of the new NFL season will be televised on NBC. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
All right, Norm, I can't wait for it. Thank you very much. Well, here's a day we can all get down with. It's National Cheese Pizza Day. This special day is celebrated every September 5th, and all you have to do is celebrate by eating cheese pizza. Who doesn't appreciate a gooey, delicious slice with just cheese, please? So, at least for today, leave the toppings aside and make it in order of a cheese pie for lunch, dinner, or heck, if you had it for breakfast, I'm not judging.
I think I have some at home.
You do? You have one of those DiGiorno pizzas?
I don't know. I feel like I had leftover from somewhere.
Ooh, Matt may be enjoying a slice of cheese. It seems like anytime we order pizza in the newsroom, we always get like a pepperoni, a cheese, and then like who orders the hot wing pizza? Does anyone know?
It's not me.
It's not.
Is that Rory?
It might be Rory. I think it might be Rory. Yeah.
Maybe.
So
it's good though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean, are we kidding me? You know, delish. What can you say? And I've never ever met anyone who doesn't like pizza, or at least a type of pizza.
Right.
So I don't know. What's your favorite, Dakota?
I mean, I'm kind of like a meat lovers guy. I
Yeah.
like my pizza to have, pepperoni, sausage.
So is Norm. Norm was
ham,
totally on
bacon,
that block. What about
mushrooms?
I mean, I like the mushrooms.
you, Matt? Yeah. See, I like just plain pepperoni. It's kind of strange, but it's just my thing. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
no, it's
I just-
pepperoni and cheese.
I don't
the
want hot
traditional,
peppers. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Too spicy sometimes, a little too rough. You gotta have a nice balance of it. So, either way, let us know what your favorite pizza is. Are you gonna be engaging in Happy Cheese Pizza Day?
The best way to engage in this day, watch a certain movie where there's a kid who's home alone on Christmas, and he goes,
yeah.
"A beautiful cheese pizza just for me." You know that scene?
Gotta love it. I
Yes.
do.
Okay.
I love those
so
movies.
speaking of cheese pizza, let's take a look at the 7-day because the sun looks like a cheese pizza, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
So again, today 70 degrees, not a bad day. Now there's a small chance of a rain shower Friday, pretty much through Sunday, but the chance is really isolated, very small. Both days, all 3 days should be rather usable. But summer is not over yet. It looks like we'll see a little bit of summer heat return Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Awesome, Dakota. We don't want to give that up quite yet. The cooler temperatures are nice, but I don't know about you guys, but I always still kind of like a little bit of warmth. Thank you very much. Everybody's chiming in. Dave says he's a big anchovies lover. So I don't know. Aren't those really salty?
Ew.
I don't
I think
know.
they're
I don't
salty.
think I've ever had them.
You never had an anchovy? My grandparents are anchovy fans, so well, hold on to that.
There goes my lunch.
We respect your opinion, Dave, but I don't know. Lakeith, hello to you. Michaela, Jesse joining us as well. We leave you with this beautiful shot from the HD News Now cam. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com, where pizza comes first. Wait, that's not the tagline, is it?